Kamala Harris's quest towards appealing to Black Americans has got to be one of the most cringeworthy and embarrassing things I have ever seen. From her awful black accent to paying Megan Thee Stallion to twerk at her rally to saying that Tupac is the best rapper alive, time and time again, Kamala Harris has shown that she is way too out of touch. It feels like she treats our culture more like an exhibit she's observed from the outside and occasionally partakes in solely for the image, rather than something that she herself is a part of and feels truly connected to. It reminds me of this experiment where they put a fake horse on a farm with a bunch of real horses, and all the real horses suspected that something weird was going on. That's basically Kamala Harris trying to appeal to Black Americans. She may look the part, but she can't play it, and it's as clear as day that this is not who she really is. To trust her with your vote in hopes of betterment for the Black community is absolutely foolish. Voting for her won't magically make the change we've been in need of for decades now. It'll be the exact same spin we are always caught in. This woman, like most politicians, even those who are Black, is so deeply disconnected from the daily experiences of the average Black American that it feels nearly impossible for her to be able to make decisions that are genuinely in touch with the community she is clearly out of touch with. Don't let the puppet fool you. This is a chameleon. There's a fine line between looking like one of us and being one of us. She ain't one of us. These politicians on both sides have had decades upon decades to help our communities, and look where we are at now. Stop buying the snake oil. They are frauds. They pander to the Black community in the most shameless and disrespectful ways imaginable, and they've made decades worth of lies and empty promises. If you think they've done jack shit for us, the first place you should look at is our schools. Look, I am 23. I was in high school in 2019. It has not been that long since I was in the same schools I'm speaking about. The schools in our communities are piss poor and operate more like juvenile detention centers than actual school systems. Look, I had to walk through a metal detector at one of my schools, and we weren't even allowed to wear book bags that weren't made out of a netted material or some see-through plastic because there were so many drugs and weapons coming into the school. We had drug dogs sniffing our lockers down in middle school. How do you think these conditions will shape the way the Black youth will view the world? You must ask, what is this conditioning us for? We can't afford textbooks or updated technology in our schools, but we can afford to fund multiple wars overseas. Like, somebody make this make sense. Our communities are in shambles, and the way they attempt to appeal to us is by having Megan Thee Stallion shake some ass on stage. They thought we'd be impressed because they brought Glorilla to the White House, as if these are the individuals we all as a community look up to and hold in such high regard. They did no research. They didn't tap in with the community or give the microphone to any Black voices with something of value to say to help move our community and society forward and in a positive direction. No. They simply pulled out the Billboard Hot 100 charts and picked the first Black female rapper names they saw and said, this will do the trick. And shame on anybody who participated in this degrading circus. They could have picked any Black scholar, Black businessman or woman, Black business owner, but no, that's who they picked. The woman who shakes her ass for a living. These are the people who claim they represent us, but how could you represent something you know nothing about? Outside of election season, you don't see these people at our events, our gatherings, our neighborhoods that they've worked so tirelessly to destroy. They'll stop by briefly, accompanied by some armed security to knock on your door and ask for your vote, but they'll never return, and you won't see a single fucking penny come back to that neighborhood once they get elected. Look, I have said this before. These elites live in gated communities designed to keep us out. Without a single one of us in sight, they use us as puppets and have us dance around on stage because they think we're better at that than actually speaking and using our words to make a change. The Black community has a big issue currently with false prophets and supposed Black leaders, representatives, and speakers that don't actually have the best interests of our community in mind. They have their own personal agendas and motives in mind, and they understand that the Black community is an incredibly creative, energetic, and passionate community. So we are simply a valuable asset to them. They understand that if you can get the Black community behind you, you can go very far, even if it's just a fraction of the community. This is why they want our support. Now, in regards to these false prophets and those alike, look, there's nothing wrong with seeking support from a specific community, of course, but it's the reasoning and methods behind it that really matter. Is any of what they say or do actually sincere, or are they simply trying to appease a specific side of the political spectrum or a specific subsection of Twitter? Is somebody like Candace Owens, for example, sincere in all her sentiments, or is she simply a puppet for the right and a mouthpiece for the Black conservative movement or something more covert? I can say the same thing about black voices on the left. How much of what they say is actually sincere, and how much of what they preach is driven by the pursuit of their own agendas. Now look, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm simply asking questions. And this is something I think we should do more often. Not just question other people, but question ourselves. Now, whether Kamala Harris is black or not, it doesn't really matter to me. It's that she's using her blackness and participation in African American culture as a tool to get the black vote. If this was her real and sincere self, she wouldn't just now be doing all of this. I mean, what are the odds that all of a sudden she starts talking about how much she loves rappers and black artists and uses this weird interpretation of how she thinks a stereotypical black woman sounds like as soon as she's in the White House and needs the black vote? I mean, wasn't she just locking black folks up? Show me the footage of her a decade ago talking about all the same things with such passion. Show me her using her comically bad black accent a decade ago, if it's so real and authentic. See, the truth is, she tapped into her black side when she needed to, not because she wanted to or because it came natural to her. She's acting one with a culture that isn't even in her roots, as if she's been one with it all along. Folks need to wake up and stop acting like this is a black woman who's really tapped into the black community in our culture. This is a whole ass culture vulture who uses us as props and tools to assume roles of power. Y'all forget, this is just a snobby ass politician who brushes shoulders with other snobby elites who all look down their noses at us. It seems as if we have learned nothing from Obama. Now, don't get my message twisted. I don't care what your race or ethnic background is. If you have a genuine interest in African American culture and you wish to explore it, I would encourage you to do so. If it's coming from a sincere place of curiosity and intrigue, then why not explore the beautiful things our culture has to offer? African American culture is not only a very new culture compared to most cultures around the world when you look at the grand historical timeline, but it's also one of the most influential and fastest growing cultures around the globe. So why not take the chance to learn about it? See, my issue with Kamala Harris is she's just now embracing African American culture simply because she wishes to benefit from it. She just wants the black vote. None of it comes from a place of genuine passion, sincerity, or interest. See, it doesn't matter if she's technically black or not. It's a matter of whether it's her culture or not, which it isn't. Her participation is disingenuous and she's pandering to those dumb enough to believe it's actually genuine. A key way to spot the difference between who's genuine and who's not is by looking at who the culture is constantly questioning and overall just isn't feeling. Who's the one going, look at me, I'm black, please invite me to the cookout, I'm one of y'all. Like, let's look at Logic and J. Cole, for example. Both of these guys are mixed race, but Logic is looked at as a try-hard cornball trying to convince everybody of his blackness, and J. Cole isn't. Now, he's just as black as J. Cole, but the culture and community doesn't reject or question J. Cole and instead accepts him with open arms because his participation in the culture feels genuine. We can all tell it comes naturally to him. He's not trying to convince you that he's black. You can even look at Drake. I mean, Drake is half black, but his participation in African American culture has always felt weird and forced because it doesn't come naturally to him. Why? Because it isn't his culture. And yes, his father is African American, which is more than what Kamala Harris can say for herself, but Drake uses the culture in a self-serving manner in order to profit and sell music and an image. His participation in the culture isn't something that just occurs naturally without effort. He goes out of his way to force it for a specific self-serving purpose. Also, I think it's important to note that African American culture is a culture that stems from black people, but not all black people are African American. Anyways, back to Kamala Harris. Her forced and embarrassing participation in African American culture is pandery, performative, inauthentic, and offensive. I don't like my culture being used as a tool to manipulate my community, a community that has a long history of being manipulated by politicians and the government. The sooner we quit buying into the same tricks being played on us by not just one side of the political spectrum, but by both, the sooner we will actually begin to wake up and start making a real change. Alright, so this video was originally supposed to end there, but Kamala has just gotten so much worse since the writing of this whole thing. And seeing Obama, of all people, come out in frustration and attack black men for not voting for her just plays exactly into the whole point of this whole video. Black people are not a monolith, and for Obama to express that he's disappointed in black men for simply exercising their freedom of thought is seriously concerning and should really make you think twice about which side you're standing by right now. Don't let these elitists weaponize your own own race against you in order to manipulate and control you. The left loves to play the identity politics game and guilt trip black people into one singular way of thought, but historically, their policies have largely served to hurt our communities. We even saw this manipulation play out with Joe Biden when he said if you don't vote for him, you're not black. I feel like the left treats blackness like a way of thought rather than just a skin complexion, and they constantly use it against the black community to garner votes. Remember, at the end of the day, these are elites. They're disconnected from our realities, but wish to be the ones who shape our realities. You can see and hear them clawing for power. People like Kamala Harris and Barack Obama use their perceived blackness as a mask, and underneath their mask is a soulless, power-hungry elite with no true identity who slithers and hisses like a snake. Do not trust them.
You may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
We're going to help out the people that need help, but home base first. I went to a school in D.C. that might have 10 students in the classroom, but we only got 5 books. How is that possible? But you sending millions of dollars across the sea? It don't make sense to me. I don't really understand it.
You about to vote?
Yeah.
Who you voting for?
Trump.
Come on, bro. Harris tells backwards, bro.
What?
Harris.
Man, we not voting for that, man. We voting for Trump, man.
Why?
Chuck be looking out for the black community, man. We ain't doing
nothing,
man.
I respect. And who you voting for, Trump or Kamala?
Man, Trump. We ain't with that Indian ass, man.
Who, Kamala?
Yeah, we ain't.
Why you don't fuck with her?
Cause she with them immigrants. I'm black.
So why you ride with Trump so much?
Because them Venezuelans taking all our bread. They getting paid anything to work, folks. They ass getting paid anything to work. They out here creating gangs. They ass gang banging, breaking in bandit cribs, all type of good shit. We ain't fucking with it.
So you don't like an open border?
Nope. We need that border.
Hey, Trump or Kamala?
Shit, Trump, be honest.
Why Trump though?
Why Trump? Cause shit, we used to get paid and shit like he used to keep immigrants out, so you know we was able for us to get jobs. It's hard for us to get jobs now, shit, cause immigrants taking over. And
so you're not with the Venezuelans?
I ain't fucking with them. I ain't gonna lie, they taking our jobs and some more shit. They do it better than us though, but they taking our. Man.
You think a woman is fit to be president?
Yeah, any woman can be president. Not that bitch, but any woman can be president, folks.
But not her?
Shit, put their mind to it, yeah, but not her. Her ass go sit down somewhere.
Who would you vote for?
I'm not gonna vote for now one, but like I said first time, if it's a choice, I'll go with Trump. She ain't no good. I'll put it like that. So whoever wanna believe in going her, check her history. Y'all turn around then.
Kamala or Trump?
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 Yeah.
Come on, bro. Kamala till it's backwards,
man,
bro.
Man, what you Kamala, we voting for Trump, but what are you talking about? You know damn well we don't Kamala. Trump, and you tweaking.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
Ain't do us. You tweaking.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I vote Kamala.
Man, we you and Kamala.
Come on, bro. I can't even have my opinion. Damn, bro.
Bro, you voting for you, so you with that all them Venezuelans? You with all that goofy?
Yeah.
Nah, ain't no yeah. That's why I shit up because of you.
Damn, bro. I can't even have my opinion on something.
No, not her.
Yeah.
Not her. She bad for the community in the world.
Yeah.